Good morning to any new friends watching again. It's the next day, the second day of this video series, and I'm outside in the backyard for sunrise again. Give you guys a look. The sun's just about to come up over the hills, and I'm out here in the backyard getting ready to watch it once again. I'm out here to really get my circadian rhythm right for the day, so get this early morning light in my eyes and on my skin, preparing me for later in the evening so that I'll be able to release all the melatonin that my body's created throughout the day so I can get to sleep nice and easy, as well as I had mentioned before, preparing my skin for the more intense levels of sunlight that I'll get throughout the day. So I wanted to talk for a minute about a certain aspect of my personality, and that is when I find out about some new information that I think's interesting, I usually want to test it out. And more specifically, when I found the information about light and how it works through quantum biology and all the effects that sunlight can have on us, and why early morning and midday and evening sun is so important to get, and why it's can be so harmful for us to expose ourselves to unnatural light at the wrong times, especially at night when the sun's not present. When I heard about these things, they sounded logical to me when they were explained by the people who told them to me. The first person was Dr. Jack Kruse, and he explained these things in a way that made sense. But even though it made sense, I wanted to give it a shot for myself. So for about the past 5 months, like I said, I've been trying to be outside as much as I can. I always have been, but I've been doing it much more than I used to. And in terms of sunrises, trying to catch a sunrise every day was never something I would do before. I've seen more sunrises in the last 5 months than I have in my entire life combined, and I'm 31 years old. Easily more than I've seen in my life. I used to sleep in quite late. But now that I've gotten my body used to doing this, it feels really good and I love to do it. I can't really imagine starting my days any later or any differently. The sunrise is beautiful, and I know it's good for me because I can feel it working. So not only was I told that it would work, but I've done it long enough now to where I'm feeling the benefits myself of getting more light and being outside more often and trying to eliminate artificial blue light as much as I can, especially at nighttime, which is something I wasn't great at before either. So, having said that, that's a little backstory about why I'm so into light and its effects on our biology now. I'm also about to have my breakfast while I continue to watch the sunrise. And again, just like yesterday, breakfast is 1 pound of grass-finished raw ground beef. Same thing as every day. Oh, with a little bit of salt mixed in. And just the same as the light story, I wanted to talk a little bit about the nutritional side of things. So again, when I hear information, I want to experiment for myself. So I've been eating I'd been eating a carnivore diet for over a year, and I've done similar off and on for the last few years, but I was always cooking my meat. And I came across some people on YouTube that were eating raw meat and talking about the benefits that they felt from it and the reasons why it was superior to eating cooked meat. And again, it sounded logical to me. For example, you lose certain water-soluble vitamins when you cook the meat via steam that comes out from the meat and the water that you lose. So it makes sense to me in my head that you'd be getting a better nutritional profile from the meat. And then I hear people talking about certain type of negative amines that are created when you cook the meat that are not good for you. And to an extent, that makes sense as well. If you're cooking something, you're denaturing it, and it stands to reason that if we evolved to eat meat, we our bodies would know intuitively that something was maybe not quite right when the meat had been cooked and denatured versus eating it in its raw state that it comes in. The sun's poking over the hill now. I'm going to try and get it in my eyes. When it's so low, I try and do sun gazing, and you can actually look at the sun without it hurting your eyes. But anyway, back to the meat story. So when I started to hear and see these people eating raw, it sounded logical, the reasons why. But again, I wanted to try it out for myself. So I did. And that's something I've been doing for close to 6 months now, I believe. Eating raw meat 99% of the time. And 99% of the time, as I said before, it's beef, ground beef. And I love it. I've gotten accustomed to eating it, and now it's something that I crave. I feel like it just goes through my digestive system so easily. It doesn't even feel like anything's happening. I don't get overly full. And I would assume, as I said, I'm getting more of the nutrition from the meat because I'm not cooking it. I feel really good, so I think that assumption holds some ground. Also, when you cook meat, you can see in the pan all the fat that's getting rendered down. So I was losing a lot of the fat in the pan and not actually getting to eat that when I was cooking my meat. So now I'm eating the entire fat content that is in the meat that I'm eating, and my body's able to properly utilize that. And since I'm fat adapted, I use all that fat for energy, and I feel like I have unlimited energy. Oh, a huge flock of birds just flew over. And with all the, like I said, with all the fat that I eat, I get my energy from that. And I'm also able to produce a lot of metabolic water by the process of fat burning and using these healthy fats. And what that means is when I burn fat as energy rather than carbohydrates, we create metabolic water within us during the process of using our fuel source as energy. And you create more metabolic water, about twice the amount, I believe, when you burn fat as fuel rather than carbohydrate. So my body stays more well hydrated that way. Yeah, so those are a couple things about the light in the meat story, a little bit about why I am doing the things I'm doing in both of those avenues. I'm gonna go ahead and start eating my breakfast now because I'm hungry. I'm gonna keep watching this sunrise for a while, and then I'm gonna head off to work for the day. Um, I'll show you a little bit of eating just so you know. A lot of people say on YouTube comments sometimes for people, they don't believe people eat things, so I'll show you guys that I always do. Alright, so I'm going to continue on with my breakfast as I said. Just enjoy this morning being outside, getting this early morning light. and then I'll see you for the next update of the day. Alright. I'll also do one more shot of the sunrise just for good measure, because it is so nice. Give it a shot, guys. Maybe the next morning that you wake up, set an alarm for whenever your weather app says the sunrise in your area is going to be, and just get outside and see how it makes you feel. Alright. What's going on, you guys? I just got home from working all day, and I wanted to make a quick video before I change. So when I'm at work, I obviously have to wear clothes. You could see what I'm wearing. I got pants on, t-shirt, I'm wearing a hat. And I wanted to talk about how I mentioned before, it's best to get as much skin exposed to the sun as you can when you're outside, but you can't always do that. And I just wanted to let you guys know it's still good to be outside if you're covered up with something, because a lot of the good infrared frequencies that come from the sun can penetrate your clothes. So you're still getting these frequencies on your body. And also when I'm outside and I'm working or doing whatever, I don't wear sunglasses so I can get all the light into my eyes. When you're wearing sunglasses, they block the important UV light that the sun's giving you in the middle part of the day that you need. The photoreceptors in your eyes absorb this light and communicate light signals telling your body what time it is basically and how to function, how it's supposed to be functioning. So I quickly just wanted to say, if you're working or you have some type of obligation where you have to be wearing clothes and you can't expose all your skin, still try getting outside, because you're still getting the infrared light through your clothes and it's still useful and it's a good thing to do. Alright, now I'm going to go change and we're going to get a little lift in. Alright. Alright everybody, we're all changed and we're out back, so it's time to get that little lift in. I'm going to do something similar to yesterday, basically just one set of whatever exercises I decide to do. But I wanted to clarify, yesterday I said I do one set to failure. I don't always go totally to failure, depending on what the lift is. So the first lift I'll start with right now is going to be overhead pressing. And I'll go to absolute failure for that, to where I'm trying to get a rep out and I can't go anymore. So that's failure. But if I'm doing something like squats, I don't have safety bars or anything, and I don't want to try and drop the weight and get out from underneath it. So I'll go until I might have 1 or 2 left in the tank, maybe even 3. I'll just try and put in some work and get close to failure. But I just wanted to clarify that because I don't always go until total failure. But starting off with overhead presses, I will. So that was total failure. Couldn't get that last rep out. Alright, moving on, we're going to do some bicep curls. This is another lift where I will take it to absolute failure, because when I can't get that last rep out, I'm not in any danger of being like stuck under the weight or having to drop it or anything. Moving on, let's do some squats. I added a couple bricks on each side just to get a little extra weight. Alright, so like I said, that was not absolute failure. I had a few more left in me, but I got what I wanted out of the set. Got some blood into my legs and felt good, so it's good enough for me. Okay, so for the last and final set with the barbell, we're gonna do what we did yesterday. Added some weight on each side, one more cinder block and a couple more bricks, and I'll start with bent over rows until just about failure, and I'll go straight into deadlifts right after. Got that fatigue in the back from the bent over rows, and it'll just really make those deadlifts feel more intense. So that was just about failure. I consider those deadlifts to be basically fail because even though I might have been able to pull a couple more reps, my grip was about to just totally give out. So it was more a failure on my grip. But yeah, good last set with the barbell. Okay, so another movement I want to show you without the barbell. I'm just going to use one cinder block. It's really cool. I want to show you guys how versatile it is to use these cinder blocks to lift. It's really awesome being able to have something that's super affordable, that's also very useful. So this movement, get a little closer. I don't know, maybe this will be a good angle. Anyway, it's overhead tricep extensions. So I'll grab the cinder block like this, hand on each side, just pop it over my head and rip out some overhead tricep extensions. Yeah, so that's a cool movement that I can do with just a single cinder block. Okay, so I want to show you one more movement, but before I do that, I just want to say, if any of you have any interest in trying to do something like this at home and maybe not work out at the gym, or even if you don't currently work out and you want to start, this is something that's super affordable and super easy to get your hands on these materials. I mean, the barbell is probably the most expensive part, which you don't need, but you could get a cheap one. The cinder blocks at Home Depot are like a few bucks. The bricks are like $1. So I mean, compare that to a gym membership and it just kills it financially. And you can't beat being outside and working out. It just feels good, makes you feel really nice, gives you a lot of energy. And it's just something that I'd really recommend you guys try. Even if you don't want to go all out and cancel your gym membership right away, give it a shot. It's really fun. I mean, you don't even need to buy the cinder blocks. This last movement I'm going to show you, it's literally with a big rock. Rocks are free. Go find one and take it home. So the last movement I'll show you is I like to do with this rock. It's like a upper chest press, I guess you could say. You could do it standing or kneeling, however you like it. But it looks something like this. And because of the shape of the rock, I have a really close grip, which I can really feel my chest activate a lot. Usually, after I rep it out as many times as I want, I'll give the rock a toss for a little extra. Because it's fun to do. So, another short and sweet lift. Got in some nice movement. Got my muscles feeling good. Blood flowing all over my body. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Another excuse to be out here outside in the sun, and I love it. Hopefully you guys give something similar a try and let me know how it goes. Alright everybody, it's a little past 4:00 p.m. now and I am very hungry. I haven't eaten since breakfast this morning, so I'm ready to eat my dinner. For dinner, it's the same thing we had for breakfast this morning. 1 pound of raw ground beef. My favorite meal. Like I said, I'm really hungry. I had a long, full, really nice day, so I'm ready to eat. I'm not going to do much talking. I'm just going to get right into it and enjoy the day out under the oak tree, listen to the birds, and enjoy my meal. I'm very grateful for it, and yeah. Oh yeah, and also I added salt to this meal as well, so the raw ground beef and salt. Alright, I'm gonna keep eating and I'll catch you later. What's up everybody? So the sun is starting to sink low out in my area. It's almost time for sunset. So I'm out here on a walk, feet in the dirt of course, grounded, getting the last low of sunlight of the day, getting it in my eyes and on my skin, so I'm ready for bed in a bit. But while I'm out on this walk, I wanted to talk about something specifically. I wanted to talk a little bit about friendship and community. Both really important things. Good for your soul. Good for your mind to be a social being. We are social beings after all. It's good to have interpersonal relationships with other people. Anyway, while it's fresh on my mind, I had a friend reach out to me earlier today about hanging out. So I took him up on the offer, and that's where I just came from right now. I drove down to the park where he was at, and we met up, and I hadn't seen him in a while, so it was nice to just keep things organic. I didn't film anything. I didn't want to put that on the situation in the moment, but maybe we'll make some stuff together in the future, content-wise. But I went to the park, and we had a really good time. We hung out for a while, and got to play with his dog out in the grass, ran around in my bare feet with the dog. And then a few other people that he's friends with showed up, and I got to meet them and their dogs and talk to them a bit and play around with their dogs in the grass. And it ended up just being a really fun time. And I just wanted to talk about it because I think it's important to have those kinds of relationships and try and do what we can to foster them. So if you guys get an opportunity like that to hang out with a friend, spur of the moment, and you can do it, do it. And if someone didn't reach out to you, maybe try reaching out to someone else and see if they want to come meet up with you and do what you're doing. It's a good thing to feel that love of a friendship and to start new ones. It's something that's all too uncommon, I think, today, making new friends in person and just being with friends face to face. So it was a nice time, and it's good to foster that community in person. And I wanted to say, one of my goals of making these videos, I hope this can turn into building a community of like-minded people around everything that I'm showing you guys. So not only do I want to keep trying to build on my community of friends in my physical life, in the place where I live, but I want to build a worldwide community with you guys. And who knows, that could turn into being together at some point. We could have some type of meetup in the future. You never know. So those are my thoughts that I'm having right now, and I just wanted to share that. I'm gonna keep walking around, keep looking around, seeing all the pretty stuff that I have around me, and listen to all the animals around, and just enjoy being outside for the last light of the day. This will be the last clip that I filmed today, since the sun will be going down pretty soon. I'll be off the phone for the rest of the night. No more artificial lights, minimizing the blue light. So we had another good day. I'm happy to share this next video with you guys, and I look forward to tomorrow as well. All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace. I told a little fib in that last clip. I said it was gonna be my last clip of the day, but that's not true. I'm about 200 yards away from where I was before, and I'm stopped on my walk, about to have a last little bit of fun while the sun's still up. I found this big stick and collected some dirt clods, and I'm gonna play a little dirt clod baseball. I like to make up little games and just have a good time. I just wanted to show you guys. So let's see if I can hit some dingers. I think that one was over the fence. A foul tip. All right, I got one more. Little broken bat action. Anyway, that was probably my last clip. If you don't see me again, it was. All right. Good night, everybody.